Hi class, wanted to give you a demonstration on your shape non-objective abstraction. The materials you're going to need is, you'll need this paper. Now you start off with a 9 by 12 paper, but I want you to cut it in half. So this is actually 6 by 9, okay? And you want to do 2 of those, all right? You need markers, you should have some in your kit, 2 colors, and then a little bit of water. Okay, we're just going to start off with just some real basic, it could be an amorphic shape. You can make it a geometric shape if you want to. We'll go ahead and do that with this one. And then here, we'll use the orange, and maybe we'll do a triangle here. Okay, from here, what we're going to do is take a brush. Now, you can use your finger to do this if you don't have access to a brush, but a brush allows you to give a little bit more control. So we're going to dip a little bit of water, and then we're going to puddle this water and kind of let it do its work. Clean it out real good, and then just kind of pull it. Just leave it go. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm actually going to, for this one, I'm going to put a little bit of water on the outside edge. And I'm even going to let them combine a little bit there. And what I want to try to do is get it to blend out pretty good. It wouldn't be bad, too, to have something to dry out the brush on, like a paper towel, and that way I can take a dry brush in here and kind of mess with it even a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and do my other one. I'm going to set this aside. You need to set that aside and leave it dry completely because you're going to outline in pen. Okay, let's do this again this time. I'm just going to do something like that. And then same thing here. And you just want to kind of have it disperse. Do the same thing up in here. One thing that once we go into our color unit, you'll find is that these 2 colors happen to be complements. And what that basically means is when side by side, you get more contrast, so they kind of complement each other. But what it also means too is if they mix together, they'll actually turn into a brown. And that's fine if that's what you want, but if you don't want that, then you might want to use colors that are more closely related, like a yellow and an orange, but that's up to you. This one here is really coming out cool. Okay, and again, I'm going to leave these dry, and after they're dry, we'll pick it back up later. Okay, the ink from the water has sufficiently dried, so I'm ready for step 2. What you need for this is a pen, rollerball pen. It needs to be either dark blue or black. In this case, I'm using black. And then we're going to be using a ruler later on, not directly right now, but in a few minutes we will be using one. What I want to do now is I'm going to outline my shape. And what I can do here is I can make this an amorphic shape, or I can make this a geometric shape. And in this case, since I decided at the beginning to do a shape that's amorphic, that's what I'm going to end up with. So I want to make a nice solid outline the whole way around. And right here, I can even go around here if I want to. I can go inside here if I like, or I can leave it blank. Now, when you're doing your first part with the brush and the ink, you can make your shapes geometric if you like. And one thing you might want to also decide to do is, like on the upper edge, make the lines a little bit thicker. This is called line quality. Right when we get here, we're going to thin it back out again. And I'm going to continue this on any line that's on the upper side. And what that does is almost creates like a shadow. I don't have many more like that. One thing, I don't like what's going on here, so I'm going to clean that up a little bit too. Okay, there you go, part 2. Okay, now for part 3, I'm going to use, in the previous presentation, you saw a lot of different types of lines you can use with this. So what I'm going to do now is begin using those types of lines. And one of the ones I want to use, and I'm looking at this angle right here, I'm going to put a zigzag in right here. And using your ruler, go ahead and start with just some basic lines. And then what I'll do is I'll take this even a little bit further and maybe make some radials as well. Like right here, I might decide to do a radial. Oh yeah, by the way, as you're going, wipe off your ruler because you'll get ink buildup on it. This one here, I want to put a radial in. A radial is a line that has a center and branches out. And another thing I can do is this one here, I'm going to make like that, and then I'm going to fill that one in and make it a dark line. Okay, and then right up in here, I'm going to clean this ruler off again for our quality work anyway. I'm going to make a series of vertical lines. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is put this in time lapse so you guys can see it, so it moves along a little quicker. Okay guys, so there you have it. I blocked it off a little bit, and I put in some darker lines, some wider lines, and I want you guys to think about this. Where I did my zigzags, I also put a pencil line in there, so I'm going to clean that thing up. But anyway, I want you to think about this because there's a reflection after the assignment. I want you to discuss the type of shapes you used, the type of colors you used, and the different types of lines you used. In my case, I used zigzag lines, I used vertical lines. I changed the closeness of the lines, proximity, that's called proximity of a line. I also did that, so I include that as well. And then the quality of the line, the thickness and thinness of the line, I would want to address that as well. So I have radials, zigzags, thickness and thinness of line, or what's called line quality, and then proximity right here. And again, on your reflection, you would want to include all of that once the assignment's completed. You want to do 2 of these. Here's my first one, just getting ready to start my second one. So have fun with it. Good luck.